Okay, so here's where I'm at right now. Hopefully it'll come up on there. I have put the A-line windshield wipers on, and there's a safety bar that goes across the top of the what do you call them, the windshield, and basically gives a good handhold for the guys when they're walking along the roof. Down in the front I've also put a handle on the door right above the P, and I have done the necessary drilling and what have you for the ditch lights, and right there is one of the ditch lights that I have painted. And once that's dry, I will install it and feed the Nano LED wires down through, and I'll be pretty much done on that part. Then I can assemble this. Another thing here too is the speaker box is ready. I just got to drop the speaker in. I'm just going to caulk it in there, so if I have to do any repair I can take it out. Okay, it's upside down, but it doesn't really matter. The ditch lights are in. I finished soldering up everything. Getting kind of excited here to test it out. And all the wiring's done. I just got to solder up the speaker, something I just remembered to do. And I'll do a test. Okay, 10 minutes after the last video I just did here. It's really hard to hear because I haven't sealed the box for the speaker yet, but you can hear the bell and the horn. It will be better once I have this thing sealed, but here's the real beauty. Watch this. This is the headlight and the ditch lights. Probably find that quite bright. It's pretty amazing. And if I hit F7, I can dim them. Okay, and then we can change direction. The rear one comes on, but you can't see it right now. This is just to give you an idea how this looks. So I'm going to pick up the camera here right now and just kind of give you an overview of what I got left to do here. So the lights are done, basically put back together. I just need to, let me back up a bit here. I just need to glue in the speaker here with some caulking, which I'm going to do in about 5 minutes. I'll put the couplers back on, and we'll take her out for a run, I guess, see how she runs. And there's the backup light. It's pretty bright. I've had to take some black paint and put it around the base of the LED. Try to keep the light from shining too much inside the cab interior. Looks like I'm gonna have to put a second coat on there because it sure shines through. Yeah, these LEDs for the front ditch lights sure turned out really good. So here's where I'm at now. In the next one you will see, I'll have it up and running and we'll do some programming. Okay, so here's the finished unit. I'll zoom right in on the front here and show you. This is the ditch lights, all the extra windshield wipers and safety bars, what have you, weathered up, ready to go, sound decoder installed. And this is the actual unit right there. All I got to do now is put the MU cable on, but I was kind of excited to get this thing running for you guys. I've already programmed in the 4-digit address, and what I've done is opened up my DecoderPro. So what I'm going to do here now, I'm just going to move this over and open up my program so that I can basically show you what I'm going to make as far as changes are concerned to the sound and the operating characteristics of 8530. So at this point already I have built a roster with the engine number and some details in here about the FDL16 modern installed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to show you the next page here, which is basic programming. Just shows you where to do the 4-digit address. But I'd like to get further on here because I only have so much time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do acceleration rate and braking rate. Right now it's set at 0, so if you move the locomotive, it's going to move right away, and if you stop, it's going to stop right away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that change right now. And I'm going to make its momentum or acceleration at around, we'll make it 25. Braking rate or deceleration, I'm going to make that 35. I won't do the back electromotive force, back EMF cutout right now, but just some basic programming. So that's already done. Now before I do this, it's kind of cool to see that the engine pulses. So what I'll do is I'll just program that in now, and I'll show you that motor pulse when it receives its command in a few minutes. So as far as start voltage, it's not necessary. This locomotive starts right on speed step 1. Soundtraxx decoders are pretty good for that. So we're going to ignore the speed table. We're also going to ignore the function map. We don't need to deal with that right now. Okay, so further on we go to advanced here. What's kind of neat is the F11 braking rate. That allows you to set it so that you can push F11 and hold the locomotive and just hear throttle only. We'll do that a little bit later. I'd like to get to some sound here. Okay, so right now the prime mover actually starts when track is powered on. So I don't really like that, and the reason being is I like to do it when you move to speed step 1. Auto air compressor enable. I like to use the turn it on and off manually, because I can set it. Same with the auto fan, radiator fan. Dynamic brakes operate independently of engine RPMs. That's kind of neat. You can have it so that when you put the dynamic brakes on, the engine goes to full speed. I like that, so I will put that in there. And the engine RPM speeds are a little bit high, so I'm going to have them change every 5 speed steps. Okay, and I'm going to move the camera down here now so you can actually watch the locomotive and see what's going on here. So I'm going to just bring it back here, show you where I am at so far. Okay, so rate changes on sheet, engine pulses, and here's where we are so far. So what I'd like to show you is the horn that's in here right now. We're going to change that just by clicking on a mouse here. Make it sound like a K5LA. I rate the change. There's a pulse. Here's the horn. Now, this particular unit has 3 chime on it, so I'm going to change it, and I'm going to keep it at the golden M3H. Let's try that one. That one's not bad, but I could do one better. So I'm going to go back to the Nathan M3 and see how that one sounds. I'm going to leave that one. Okay, so sound levels. Right now I've got the master volumes at 192. I can make the engine sound much louder. You can already probably hear a difference. But I'm not going to do much more right now. What I'm going to do is I'd like to go over to the equalizer. So I'll let you have a look at that up here. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm going to go over to the equalizer here. And right now it just has a very flat off sound. But if I change this and make it think that it's a medium speaker, you'll hear immediate difference. Okay, it's more bass, more throaty sound. So I'm going to try another experiment here. I'm going to go to edge port speaker. Yeah, very flat, don't like it. If I go to large speaker, that's better, but I think I'm going to stick with the medium speaker. Seems to have the best deep sound. So I'll keep that. Now immediately the horn sounds different. Way louder. Okay, so we're going to leave that. Another neat thing too is we can actually add a little bit of reverb. That's the beauty of this with the Digitrax or the Soundtraxx system, is I can give a little bit more reverb. So when I blow the horn, and that's a nice little bit of an echo. Okay, going back to the sound levels. If I hit F10, there's the air compressor. I wouldn't mind having that a little louder. That sounds pretty good. Okay, the bell. Let's bring the bell volume up a little bit. And listen to it with the horn. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, it's a little bit over the top. So what I'm going to do is the engine exhaust, I'm going to bring that down. And the air compressor up a little higher. Make those changes and start the air compressor. When you hit F10, it'll come on. I find that a little too loud. Just bring that back down to about there. Oops, I made a mistake here. There we go. Let's try this again.